Tai whakawhiti, tai whakaneke, tai ki uta, tai ki tai ko patapata ana te wai ko nehu i runga whakawātea ko te papakiri uka iraru. Horo peka peka te wai pure mehiri ku ngā tō hau nā kawe tau ripo i roto taku ripo i waho. Whakarau rūtia ko tangaroa kiri uka tō toto whara hei. Whakamahe mahi a taku rā i tēnei ka taki na ki a mā. Uhi. Wero, tau mai te māra, haumi hui tai ki e. te mānga e ngā nei rapono te toko toru tapu, anika mātau te tuku i ngā reo whakamoe miti moka tini mana ki tanga ko tau me ho mai ki rungi a mātau, mai ngā rā ki muri tainua ki tēnei hao. E ua tukuna mai rā ngā ānei rapono ki rungi a mātau, kia piki te kaha, piki te ora, piki te māra matanga, i ngā wā katoa, i ngā wāhi katoa. E ua whakaungia mai ko ngā kuputika o tēnei whakamoe miti ki te arohanoa, pai heretia ki te rangi māri e i ngā wā katoa, i ngā wāhi katoa, ko te mānga e hei tautoko mai, ai nei, ake nei, ai. Ko te whakapūnake o te mataua mau i tiki a taranga te mau. Ko te wairoa ho pū ho nenge mātangi rau te au. Ko kā hu te hapu. Ko ngā tika hurunu ki te wairoa te iwi. Ko kehi tū te marae. Ko tā ki tini te waka. Ka moe a tāwhiri Smith i atu he tabuhana. Ka puta ko Hineaka Smith. Ka moe a Doug Hilton i a Bonnie Bartlett, ka puta ko Hilton Rohe. Ka moe a Hilton Rohe i a Hineaka Smith, ka puta ko te tokori mō mātai, ko hau te pōtiki. Ko Chance Rangi Māori e Hilton Rohe taku ingoa. Ka moe a hau i a te araripeka Rangihuna, ka whānau mai a māua pepe, a te araripeka Hineaka Rohe, a te rātu emere Rangi Māori e Rohe. Nō reira, Tēnā koutou katoa.
Tēnā tātou katoa. What you have just seen is my Wai Ahau image. This speaks of me, my family, and my influences in life. The central image is a representation of myself, my tipuna, my family, my whānau, and my influences. Starting at the top and travelling down to the bottom is a representation of knowledges being passed down from generation to generation. The intricacies of the design tell of influential teachings that have been gifted to me by my ancestors, my grandparents, my parents, my teachers, siblings, peers, and friends. Below that is a moko kanohi, or a mataora. This is a representation of myself receiving these gifts to share with the world. Below the mataora is a representation of my family. My partner, Te Araripeka Rangihuna, and our two children, Te Araripeka Hineaka Rohe and Te Rātu Emere Rangi Māori Rohe. They rest at my jaw as a symbol of me passing knowledge to them in their everyday lives. This is for the hope to create a world of understanding and enlightenment for them to flourish. On either side of the image are human-like figures, as if leaned against the central figure. These represent that I am a descendant of the sea and are of reference to all the lands my whakapapa or my genealogy connects me to. In the background faintly is an image known as koutou. This represents welcome. It symbolises the hands extended out in greeting. This is not limited to welcoming people, but knowledges as well. A stylised mangopare has been added as well to pay homage to all of those who have created a pathway for the likes of myself to partake in the sharing of knowledge for a better tomorrow. Those who tirelessly challenge the new dawn for a new tomorrow. Wero te awe māpara, challenge the new dawn. My thoughts on a worldview. Everyone has their own unique worldview, nothing like anyone else. There will be similarities, but never completely the same. We all possess a worldview, whether known or not. It reveals itself in politics, viewpoints in religion, and our own morality. For our worldview, we see who we are, our place in society, and the shaping of our existence continues to grow as we learn. My worldview was afforded to me, guided and enriched by my culture, family and faith, all thanks to my mother. Our times are filled with singing, whakamoemiti or church, kapahaka, all in one another's homes or on our marae. This instilled a feeling of home in our place. The way we approach life is informed from this upbringing, so our language, our whānau, our tūranga waiwai or our stomping grounds is what has shaped my view, my worldview, in my opinion. Tēnā tātou katoa. I see a social imaginary as what we do with what we have been given in life. The tools, the values, the ideals that inform our pathways reveal to us our place, our stance in this world. Tamaiti ako ana I te kāinga tū ana ki te marae tauana. A child taught at home will stand on the marae with dignity. This whakatauki reminds us that children who are cherished within their whānau and raised with strong values and guidance will exercise nobility both within their family and within society. Māori believe children are the leaders of tomorrow. The phrases rangatira o a pōpō and te a pōpō reference this idea. The responsibility of guiding ākonga or students in a world that demands exploration with curiosity rests with visual art teachers throughout the world. As a Māori artist, I appreciate my environment as it informs my creation of work. I am influenced by traditional and modern histories, themes, and also these are in the form of pūrākau, stories, pepeha, geographical ID tags, in which you can then branch off stories of the places that your bones come from. And last but not least, Wai Ahau. Mō teatea, or traditional chants, for example, contain graphic imagery chiselled out with the finest of literature our ancestors could offer. These practices have carried on through to today. Through these histories, my creative mind takes me on adventures to wondrous places. Forms, shapes, colours, compositions of artwork flash before me, and some stare at me all day, all night, until I can complete them in this world. This is how I would like the ākonga or the student to work and grow. To create for art's sake. Let creativity nourish you and curiosity fuel you. I am only but a guide with my hand out to the student saying, let's take a walk of creativity. I feel this approach allows space for uncertainty, excitement, and inquisitiveness. This journey will not only explore art, but organically we will become art. So you're probably wondering to yourself, how does the worldview and social imaginary of Chancellor relate to each of Biestas' threefold purposes? Number 1, qualification. Knowing the subject, having the skills and qualifications. This qualification function of education is an important task and provides an important justification for schooling. Biesta 2020. As a Māori visual artist, I do not only know my skill set, but I am my skill set. I share my knowledges through experiences and relevant conversations relating to traditional times, traditional methods, traditional ideas, and pulling them through into a modern context. Socialization, the ways in which we become part of existing traditions and members of and part of particular social, cultural and political orders. Biesta 2009. Using our traditions and protocols as a guide within art is an avenue for ākonga or students to learn, appreciate and find value within their own culture and context, giving them a sense of belonging. Subjectification, the freedom to be yourself. Freedom viewed in this way is fundamentally an existential matter. It is about how we exist, how we lead our own lives, which of course no one else can do for us. Biesta 2020. Within Te Ao Toi, the realm of Māori visual arts, ākonga or students learn traditional knowledges that have connections to each of those students via their ancestors, allowing the ākonga or the student to play, learn and understand these ideas is my focus. With the ākonga or the student taking up these mantles, I encourage them to personalise everything they can to suit their contexts in this day, in this age. My understanding of Imago Day. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. For humans to have recognition of them being in the image of God means they are a vessel to carry out God's work, therefore being a co-creator. If humans are to love God, humans must love other humans. Seeing this quality in others and yourself as a quest in itself, so if in tune your quest for wholesomeness and purpose can be achieved in seeing the best in others and attending to the requirements needed to succeed in collaboration. There is another strand that is a reference to the myth of the fall of Adam and Eve. This is when they estranged themselves from the grace and teachings of God. According to this myth, we can choose to deny or repress our likeness to God. For me, I see humans as a result of their ancestors. When ākonga or students walk in front of me, I don't just see one human, but I see their ancestors. So I engage with ākonga or students on a level that comes from my upbringing. My worldview is what informs me of collaborating with ākonga. I don't see two sets of humans, but a group of tipuna or ancestors who are ready to collaborate with my ancestors. My understanding of adolescent development. Adolescent development in visual arts and its potential is often underrated, disregarded, or disbanded as irrelevant. There have been arguments that the intentional cultivation of artistry is neglected and developing mastery in your visual language is rarely attempted. By the adolescent stage of life, most ākonga or most students give up the visual arts as a means of understanding or expression. Social stigma has tainted the artist profession in place. The idea of creating art or pictures and making a living of it sounds absurd and romantic at the same time. Drawing is well accepted as a fundamental skill in art standards throughout Aotearoa. There are a plethora of avenues, pathways and opinions to passing knowledges onto ākonga. These methods come of use when accommodating a classroom full of ākonga. Not all receive and retain knowledge the same way. Seeing how the ākonga develop skills and understanding at points of their journey in the class are to be monitored by their teacher. This will allow for some space to become aware of levels of understanding that needs attention. Culture should play a major role in this development. It is tailored to the ākonga or the student from centuries ago. Their culture has been handed down from generation to generation and evolves as much as the times we live in. It also informs their view of the creation of their work, much like the intricacies of raranga or weaving. Ideals, visions and foci support growth, understanding and most of all, development. Layered with generations of refinement, this complex weaving of cultural influences and decision-making helps aid the ākonga in their personal growth as an artist. How my worldview and social imaginary connects to the New Zealand curriculum. My worldview and social imaginary is partly influenced by the New Zealand curriculum. My grandparents, my parents, along with myself, are graduates of this very curriculum. And saying that, I am a result of the New Zealand curriculum. So, my ideals and values of art in schools is somewhat a combination of my expertise as a Māori artist and guidance from the key competencies and structures of te marautanga o Aotearoa. So then we move on to my worldview and social imaginary and how they connect to Toi Ataata or visual arts. My worldview and my social imaginary are one with Toi Ataata. They influence and inform one another. Balance comes from this interaction. I am able to authentically share traditional knowledges afforded to me by my ancestors, and in my view, I am able to share perspective but not limit my ākonga with their vision, views and beliefs.
Ka tiaki rā, e aku nui, e aku rahi rangatira mā, anika ngā mati here o te wā kia koutou katoa, I whai wā ki te noho, ki te whakarongo I ēnei kōrero. Nō reira, e aku rangatira, tēnā koutou. We've come to the commencement of this presentation. I'd like to thank everybody that's taken time out of their lives to listen to this, and to also to have to deliberate over all the workings of your students from the beginning of your career to this very presentation here. Having said that, I hope this has found you in good health. Take care, brush your hair, and always, always e hika wā. Smile. Nō reira, tēnā koutou e aku nui, tēnā koutou e aku rahi, tēnā tātou katoa.